Hi Pisces, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, just want to say my sincerest apologies to not get into last week's session. As many of you know, there's been a lot going on behind the scenes. So for those of you that sent well wishes and you know, all the good stuff, I really do appreciate you. So before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So your key to the week this week is ooh, okay. The Hanged Man. Okay, so technically this is your card, or certainly one of the ones that could be associated with your sign, because the Hanged Man is Neptune energy. So the fact that you have this as your key to the week, this week you are meant to take it easy. Whatever it is that's coming up, whatever it is that you're working on, over or through this week, in all of these different areas of life that we're going to have a look at, you are being encouraged to take your time and to consider the whole thing a lesson in detachment. Now the thing with the Hanged Man, it does tend to slow things down. And think about it, this week we have a Mercury retrograde in full swing. So with that said, keep it light, keep it, you know, and the other thing as well with the Hanged Man, you are talking a lot of the time as well about reassessment and reevaluation for your actions and options. This week you have the so this is the page of Athames in this deck, but it's the page of swords, right? So all the while you're taking it easy, one of the things that I would say to you is this week you're being encouraged when it comes to your paperwork, documentation, cross your T's and dot your I's. Take your time, take your sweet time with all of it, especially because we have a Mercury retrograde and you don't want to make any sort of, it's not even about making rash moves, it's just about making decisions that, you know, aren't necessarily well thought out. And we always tend to miss something in a Mercury retrograde. Now, if you are wrapping up a contract or a contractual matter, this can actually be very good. A Mercury retrograde is a perfect time to complete something, not to start something brand new. Now, in terms of the options that are available to you, there might be suggestions that come your way this week, but you're really going to have to use your own discernment. For those of you that are, sorry, should I say, when it comes to your communications and conversations, you've got the Five of Cups. So there is, I'm sorry to say, but there's some news this week that is not going to sit as well as you might like it. Remember, the Five of Cups is a loss card. So there's something here that suggests that you're moving away from or out of a current situation as per. Now, it could also be that news finds you where you are in some way, shape or form expected to be somewhat self-sacrificing. Now, this is an energy that you carry anyway, so it's something that you do need to think about, especially with the Hanged Man as well, because sometimes this can show up like in the dysfunctional sense. It talks about being a martyr. So something that you need to think about here. Now, when it comes to those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, it could be that the course that you're wanting to take is going away. It could be that maybe your favorite teacher isn't returning for the year after. There's some kind of news around the career, the professional, the studies that is not necessarily welcome. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, it could be, it's not a guarantee, it could be a termination, but it could also be maybe that the job role is changing. And so for you, this kind of spells out the week where you say, yeah, you know what? I am about ready. This is the, you know, this is kind of like the final straw that I needed to give me the kick up the butt to say, okay, you know what? It's time to move forward now. It's time to go elsewhere. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, this is, it's a, you know, if you have your own business, you know that it's a process of constantly and continually refining that business until it gets to a point where you're really happy with it. And then once you get to that point, eventually, like a certain period of time will pass, and then after that you think, okay, I'm getting bored of the same, so I need to switch it up. Speaking of, stay tuned, because you know Raphael was all about that switch up. And then finally, for those of you that are retired and no longer working, this actually could be news of somebody's health that is not very good at this moment in time. And it may be that you end up being called upon to assist or to help this person in some way, shape or form. For those of you, when it comes to your love and relations, you've got the Queen of Cups, so we've got the Hangman here, so this could be a Pisces woman may feature for you this week. So for those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, there is a part of you this week that will need to be a bit more nurturing, a bit more present, a bit more focused, and potentially maybe fulfill a bit more of that, I don't want to say this because I know somebody's going to be offended. It's like you can't fucking breathe this, in these day and ages without offending somebody. But maybe you take on more of, whether you're a man or a woman is irrelevant, however you identify. Maybe this week you take on more of a sort of homebody sort of feel, right? So maybe you're having to pick up more of the slack at home this week because of whatever else is going on. And so there is that sort of self-sacrificing energy that comes through. For those of you that are single and looking to mingle, it could be a fellow water sign that shows up for you this week. I will be honest with you, that Hanged Man does suggest that it's a little bit wishy-washy, so you might not necessarily be very clear on where you stand straight away. For your money and materials, you've got the King of Pentacles, finally a nice stabilizing energy, and it shows up in your money. So look, for resources in general, for those of you that are leaving jobs, it may be that you get a payout in order to leave. It could be, because this can be a promotion card or a pay rise, but you've got that Five of Cups. So one way this potentially shows up is maybe you do get an advancement or some kind of bonus or some kind of promotion, but it comes at the expense of somebody else leaving or being fired or whatever the case might be. Now, when it comes to your physical health and vitality, I actually love this card for physical health and vitality because it's a really good feeling. But this with the Hanged Man, I will say this week, it's really important that you find a way to process your feelings through your body, meaning giving your body an outlet so that it can process whatever it is that you're going through internally. And then finally, when it comes to your home and environment, the King of Pentacles is a fantastic card for home because it means that you're finally starting to feel at home. And because you've got this Hanged Man here, it kind of makes me think like this is about feeling at home in your body. Right? It's like getting acquainted or reacquainted or really strongly associated with your physical being. So yeah, I like that. All right. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. If you want to book your personal session with me, you can do so on the link in the description box below. Thank you for your kindness and your patience. Love you lots. I'll see you soon. And there's a lot more good stuff to come. Take care.